What's going on, champs and champettes? It's your favorite buddy, FireMonkey. That sounds way too parasocial. You know what? Let's change it up a little bit. What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I might not be your buddy, I might not be your friend, but hey, I'm the guy who gives you some content to watch while you eat some popcorn, a burger, whatever it might be for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Anyways, with that said, in today's YouTube video, I'm going to be talking about nostalgia, and specifically, a certain type that I've recently been experiencing while going back and playing an old game called Watch Dogs 1. Now, I do want to preface this video by stating that I almost didn't make this video. I was sitting here for like 20-30 minutes, maybe even longer, wondering, what do I make a video about? And even when I was playing Fortnite earlier with my friend Tater, I was sitting there like, this is the only topic I can think about, but do I really want to just talk about Watch Dogs 1 for an entire video? And then I decided, you know what, it's better than talking about Amber Heard versus, how did I forget the name? Anyways, Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I was like, I don't really want to talk about that. You know, 50 million people have already made videos recently about it. I want to make a different video. And that is why today I'm coming at you guys with this Watch Dogs 1 nostalgic video topic. But I want to start off by asking you guys a question that I want you to answer in the comments down below if you wouldn't mind. Of course, you don't have to, but the question is the following. Have you gone back to any old games that you haven't played in years, and have you had a different experience? Because personally for me, as I've recently gone back and started playing through Watch Dogs 1, as I've bought all 3 DLCs, you know, Watch Dogs 1, Watch Dogs 2, and Watch Dogs Legions DLCs, I wanted to play through all the Watch Dogs games in order to, you know, relive all those different storylines. And with Watch Dogs 1, something interesting I was feeling with it was, yeah, sure, the graphics are older because, you know, it's an older game. It doesn't look like nowadays where it's like we have specific hair follicles for every single strand of hair or anything like that, but the graphics are still, you know, viewable. They're easy to use, you can understand them, you know, they're working, so it's like if you can't beat it, you know, if it doesn't hurt your computer, why complain about it? But something I had found super interesting was, while I remember a lot of the characters, like, you know, Aiden Pierce and all that stuff, something I did not remember was all of the different little, like, storylines and small things that happen in between the main story that really build up that main character and all these side characters around him. And the reason why that was intriguing to me is because as I was going into specific cutscenes, instead of being like, oh yeah, you know, I remember that, I was having an interesting moment where instead of remembering the cutscene itself in that specific part, I remembered like certain characters from the cutscene. So I would sit there and I'd be like, oh, that's him! I remember that about him. I didn't know he did that because of this. But I was, you know, just super happy overall just to see that, you know, I could go back and have this wonderful experience by, you know, not only reliving the storyline, but also having a unique moment that only really comes from playing a game that you've completed before that you haven't played in years. Because, like, if you're playing a game for the first time, you know, the intriguing part's going to be the story time. If you play it, like, 5 times in a row, there's not really going to be an intriguing part towards the end. You're probably just playing it for the main gameplay at that point, or achievements, whatever it might be. But when you go back to the game years down the road, when you've forgotten some aspects of it, it gets super interesting because just, you know, you have the new type of wonder. You're not sitting there being like, oh yeah, you know, you're not expecting to know the entire storyline, but you have a vague idea in your mind of certain characters and certain important points about them. And then as you play through, you're like, oh yeah, that's what that guy was doing. That is why he did this. That is why they changed and did this thing. And it's like such a different experience. It's such like a different feeling that I feel only comes from having that nostalgic aspect of an older video game and going back to play it through. But it's something that I think actually makes some of these older games more enjoyable once you play them after having not touched them for years. And honestly, you could use the saying that absence makes the heart grow fonder to describe some of these games. However, of course, this is my experience with Watch Dogs 1, and not every game is going to be this exact same experience. Because let's say you played a game that was on like the Atari or Game Boy or something, and you try going back to it nowadays. You might have like a vision in your mind of that time, and it's like, oh yeah, the graphics are pretty good or whatever, and then you go to play that game, and you're like, wow, this is how the graphics are? This is how the controls work? Because some older games, like I think some of the early Resident Evil games, have really weird controls that just aren't normal to today's standards, especially if you're playing keyboard and mouse. It's just they have these slight differences from back then and how we've evolved with when it comes to controls in games nowadays and graphics, that some games actually are a worse experience when you go to play through them again years later. However, other games, like I've mentioned with Watch Dogs, are a better experience. So, you know, it's just something that I'm like enjoying right now, and and I'm super happy about, and I thought, you know what, might as well make a YouTube video about it, give you guys something to listen to me ramble on about while all the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp stuff is going on the other side of the YouTube realm. With that ramble out of the way, however, I want to give you guys a little bit of an update of what's going on with the YouTube channel. So I will be live tomorrow to live stream the Chapter 2 Season 3 live event for Fortnite, or is it Chapter 3 Season 2? It's one of the, yeah, it's Chapter 3 Season 2. I'll be streaming the live event called the Collision event that will be going down at 4 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, so make sure you're by to watch me play through that game and all that stuff. I'll also still have a normal, you know, Binding of Isaac episode coming out the same day, but it might come out after the actual live event, or I might just skip that day, you know, do a longer Binding of Isaac episode a day later or something like that. Just know that ahead of time I'm going to be streaming. I will be uploading 2 versions of that stream as well. The version that goes on the popular Fortnite channel, the one with like almost 200,000 subscribers, will be a version that's just the gameplay itself without my webcam or microphone. And then the version that goes on this channel the same day as the live stream is going to be a version that includes, you know, my webcam, my microphone, my reaction, everything else going on. So you'll be able to experience the live event in 2 different ways. If you want to experience it with me and further your parasocial relationship, I guess you can do that. However, keep in mind, we aren't friends. Or if you just want to experience the event on its own because you can't go back in the future to view it, you'll be able to on the Fortnite channel. Anyways, with that said, hope you champs and champettes have a wonderful rest of your day, night, afternoon, Hanukkah, Christmas, or whatever, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. Peace out.